Movie junkies, welcome back to Twin Flicks, where we always here celebrating the magic of movies and physical media with you. So today we're taking a look at the movie that really catapulted Mel Gibson into A-list stardom. And this film also did two things. One, it redefined action movies in the 80s. And two, it redefined the action buddy cop genre. From prolific director Richard Donner comes 1987's Lethal Weapon that blasts its way on 4K UHD, and Warner Brothers did something special, did something surprising and a little unusual, where they did not just include the director's cut on a mere Blu-ray, but they went the extra mile by restoring the director's cut in 4K, which is a real treat for us fans. And again, the director's cut and also the theatrical cut have both been restored in 4K from a 4K scan of the original 35mm negative, forming a 4K DI with HDR10 grading. And this also comes with a new Dolby Atmos mix, which is something we're definitely going to be taking a closer look at after our video review. Now, I do still own Warner Brothers' 2012 Blu-ray collection of Lethal Weapon, and I always thought this looked great. I never really had any problems with it overall. The only issue with this Blu-ray is it did not include the director's cut. So because of that, we are going to compare the theatrical cut between the Blu-ray and the 4K UHD. Alright guys, so it's time. Let's take a closer look at Lethal Weapon on 4K UHD against the 2012 Blu-ray, and let's see if this is really worth the upgrade. Now, when comparing the 4K UHD against a Blu-ray release, at first I honestly thought the Blu-ray looked a little bit better than the 4K. However, as the 4K went on, it's clearly noticeable how much better the 4K is, especially with the HDR10 color grading, where colors now look much better balanced out and much more natural now, while still delivering some nice pop. And the HDR10 grading really helps with this by opening up the color gamut wider, delivering much wider nuances and depth within the color ranges. It really helps with all the bright, vivid 80s aesthetic. Saturation, it is handled just right here on the 4K, and it does tone down the saturation levels that were overly hot on the Blu-ray. And that also gave some really hot skin tones as well. With the 4K, the skin tones now look much healthier and much more lifelike. All the colors, especially with yellows and reds, still look very active, while also looking more natural than the Blu-ray does. Contrast is also wider. That really helps with the blistering California sunlight. Now with this 4K, looks naturally bright, where the Blu-ray looked overly exposed. The better contrast also helps with darkly lit scenes, such as in the bar under the neon lights, and the dancing flame from the lighter against the dark backdrops. I mean, it just looks tremendously better than the Blu-ray. The black levels here on this 4K look incredible. Now, the Blu-ray looked good as well with the black levels. I honestly didn't see much issues within the black levels. But what the HDR10 grading really does here is it enhances the black levels even more, displaying striking, deeper, inky, truer looking black levels that go pitch black at times, and night scenes go dark. This also really helps in creating the perfect backdrop to the rest of the elements. That really helps in drawing out more finer details and helping vibrant colors to exude through the black levels much better here than it did on the Blu-ray. And shadows look outstanding, that are stronger, and there's clear visibility throughout, even in the darkest areas. Also, the added depth and richness within the black levels on this 4K makes for a very nice improvement over the Blu-ray. The 4K scan has cleaned up the image while leaving any inherited imperfections from the negative fully intact, which means that we have a nice filmic appearance. The higher resolution also leads to much higher level of details now and textures that the Blu-ray just did not have. The image now looks clearer and as razor sharp as the lenses could capture back in 1986. That literally brings out previously unseen finer details from facial close-ups, revealing crow's feet, skin imperfections, 5 o'clock shadows. The clarity and sharpness continues even in the background of close-up shots. I mean, I literally was awestruck with the image quality of this 4K and the nice cleanup job while still retaining that 80s 35mm appearance that we all love to see. There is also a much better amount of depth and three-dimensionality throughout the image that was very lacking on the Blu-ray that honestly always carried a flat, almost lifeless looking image. Now we have a natural and more lifelike appearance, giving a much truer cinematic appearance, honestly like I've never seen it before on home video. This is as close as possible as we're going to get to the original theatrical appearance. The bitrate I saw it start around the high 50s, and I saw it top out in the lower 80s Mbps, and Lethal Weapon is on a 100 gigabyte disc. Now, the grain structure on the Blu-ray had a lot of DNR scrubbing that gave some waxiness to the image, especially with facial close-ups. This 4K has none of that. Instead, we have a very nice grain field that looks natural from the 35mm negative, giving a beautiful filmic appearance. Alright, now let's dive into the audio, because a lot of you out there have been asking me what I think of this Atmos track. And Warner Brothers has had a mixed bag in the past with their Dolby Atmos mixes, namely because they have added in modern sound effects that ended out standing out like a sore thumb, say the 1989 Batman. However, recently I've been impressed. Warner Brothers has produced some fantastic Atmos mixes, and if there was any modern sound effects that were added in, Warner Brothers has done a much better job at blending it in with the original sound design, where it sounds more subtle now than it did in the past. And this is definitely an example of one of the better Atmos tracks from Warner Brothers. Lethal Weapon has an aggressive and very active Atmos track. The sound design sounds wider and more expansive. Michael Kamen's score and Eric Clapton's guitar work sounds incredible, some really nice high fidelity that spreads through the soundscape. Michael Kamen's score even sounds more intense now, giving more anxiety to different scenes. The action set pieces, it puts you right in the middle of the action set pieces, offering excellent object placement and movement. There is also plenty of bass with outstanding low ends that really helps in giving the film more weight and heft to it, and also some excellent uses of the height channels. Dialogue is clean and clear, and sound effects nor music ever drown out any part of the dialogue, even under the heavy action set pieces. This is an outstanding Atmos track. Lethal Weapon is an outstanding and aggressive 4K UHD presentation that honestly is a must upgrade from your previous old Blu-ray release, or if you don't already own Lethal Weapon, I don't know what you're doing with your life, definitely pick this one up on 4K and add this one to your collection. This is a fantastic film that is a must own for any film fan or home media enthusiast. But I also want to hear your opinion here. When you look at the differences here between the two formats, the previously released Blu-ray from 2012 and this new 4K UHD, which do you like better? Or do you see much differences at all? Head over to the comment section and let me know. Alright guys, well thanks so much for hanging out with me as we dive into Lethal Weapon on 4K UHD from Warner Brothers and comparing it to the previously released Blu-ray. I'm definitely hanging on to this Blu-ray because obviously Warner Brothers has not released Lethal Weapon 2, 3, or 4 yet on 4K. I'm hearing that they are releasing Lethal Weapon 2 and 3 next year. I hope. Pray to the physical media gods that it actually happens. Warner Brothers, please, if you're listening, you have to release it, man. You have to release Lethal Weapon 2 and 3 on 4K UHD. And if you get around to it, 4 as well. As always, guys, thanks so much for watching. Leave your comments down below in the comment section. Make sure to subscribe, like, and share this video and this channel. And as always, keep physical media alive, and we'll see you next time with another 4K versus Blu-ray comparison.
Twin Flicks presents 4K versus Blu-ray comparisons.